Okay, I think we have everything we need. And boy, was it a ride. Ow, it's hot as hell. Ooh, stuff. It's so hot. It's almost like this build plate has been heated to over 100 degrees for 5 hours. Celsius. So 200 degrees? 200? Oh, come on, open. I want. Whoa. Whoa. That was cool. All the supports just stayed in there. Yeah, that's pretty sick. That was a trip. Oh, one little guy still in there. Just that little guy. Just a little guy. Nice. That ABS though. Nice. Nice. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Alright. Now I know everybody has the thing to do this stuff. What's it called? Okay, don't break. Just come off. Oh. Oh, don't do it like this. This is wrong. Don't do what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. That is solid. That's on there. Alright, well. Cool. Nice. Dude, these supports are sick though. Alright, that's a thing, that's a thing. Alright, I need a thing. I'll be right back. Don't tell my wife. Oh my goodness. That's just probably bad, right? Oh, support, hopefully, yeah. Dude, on there. Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Why come? Why come? Why come you attached so good? Alright, well dang it. So this came out good. But I'm definitely gonna have to redo this. That's not good. Is it the glue? Must be the glue. God dang. No one ever told me 3D printing wasn't gonna be super easy. Yeah, I bet that's the only reason this all came off, because it's all supports. Ah! Look at that though. Looks cool. Dang it. Alright, well, this turned out good. This turned out less good. I mean, that looks great, but I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna blast. Dude. Okay. It's gotta be the glue, right? I'm not supposed to use this. ABS! It says. That's what I did. Too much glue? That's not a thing, right? I don't know. This is my first real print with ABS. Oh my god, that is so jacked. What are we gonna do? I have my torch. Where's that? See, you guys all made fun of me for my dirty desk, but now I can't find anything because I cleaned everything. Okay, so I've proper fucked this up. This is like way stuck on there. And in scraping, I scraped some of this right off. Now, I have another plate coming already because this one is hosed. But I'm thinking if I can get this crap at least off, I can flip it because this side's still nice. Now, I did try a torch from the back end and that did get this off a little bit, but as soon as I got it real hot, it got real warpy and that's when I scratched that off. So I don't think that's the best plan, but we're kind of just seat of our pants here now, boys. I don't really know. It's doing stuff, you know. Stuff's happening, I guess. But stepping on a bunch of sprue. I think that's what it's called. It looks so cool, though. Look at that. That is trippy. Pretty sick. Kind of cool how it just like decides these are the patterns. So I don't know what I did here. I'm thinking I'm gonna try this one again, just this and not use any glue. Maybe, I don't know. I don't actually know how to 3D print stuff. I'm just we're just YOLOing our way through life here, and it's kind of working. Not 100%. Yeah, see, there we go. It's happening. So I think if I can get this flat enough, we'll flip it. I can print the other piece again. And the whole, I don't know. I'm not, like, I've printed a bunch of other crap since I got the 3D printer out of PLA, because that's what the printer came with. And that's what I was, you know, I don't know. I'm just doing stuff. Like I said, I'm just YOLOing. But, so yeah, this was my first go in ABS. I printed a little shroud for my U console out of ABS just to like make sure it all worked, and that came out perfect. But that was like a 40-minute print. This was like 5 hours or something like that. It's a lot. So I have another bed coming. So I have some room for mistakes. Oh, dude, check it out. Eyelashes. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I could sell these. I'm keeping these. These ones are perfect. Already curved. These will be great for when I hit the club. But yeah, so that's the current plan. So I'm gonna see what I can do here, and then I'll get back with you guys. Okay, so today we are going to build our own solar node. Now, this one is a vehicle mounted node. So cool thing about this is this will just sit on the roof of your car, and give you a mobile vehicle node that is solar powered and therefore mostly usually charged, hopefully, when you need it. So this thing I found when I started 3D printing, because anybody who started 3D printing immediately goes to printables and thinkables and all that crap and just starts like, hey, what is everything I'm interested in? Let's see if I could just make stuff with it. So of course I searched Meshtastic and found a bunch of cool stuff. So this thing is similar to the Spec 5 Voyager. If you guys have seen that, you can Google it, which is very similar. Uses the same solar panel, I think. But basically the way it works is this goes on the top of your car with these magnets. Sits like this. You put a little antenna. Bada bing, bada boom, you got a mobile vehicle node. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So for all of you, like in the last video I made for the Seed Studio, you're all like, hey, yo, you can build nodes for cheaper than that. Yeah, I know, but it's cool. Like, it's a cool node. I really like it. So you will need some parts off of the old Amazon doobly-doo solar panel, and I'll link all this stuff. Well, actually, I'll probably not link all of this stuff. What I'll probably do is just link the link to the printables page that has all of this, because he has all of these parts in it. So you get solar panel, some magnets, an antenna, type N to IPEX adapter, and battery. The only other thing you'll need is the leads. So the rack board, which is another piece you're gonna need. Ta-da! Oh, sticker! Eat, sleep, mesh, repeat. That's a cool sticker. So the rack board, it comes with some stuff in it, but I don't think it's exactly what we're gonna need. So this is the 19007, I think. Yeah, probably. I don't know. It doesn't say anything on it, but the connector, for some reason, when you buy these cool little Maker Focus batteries off of Amazon, they only have the small connector on them. So you're gonna have to get something like this. I stole this connector from one of my RC trucks motors. So this will go here in the battery spot, and then this connector, same idea. This might have come with it, I'm pretty sure. This will go in the solar position, and then what we will do, boop, I said boop. All right, boop. This will hook up to the solar panel. We're gonna cut the USB cord and we're gonna solder the leads onto this. That will power this. We have our LoRa antenna, which we are not gonna use, and we have our Bluetooth antenna. So this one we will use. So this is gonna go on here. This and this we don't need because we're gonna use this guy and this guy. So this got me down a whole rabbit hole of printing stuff. So I had a massive failure when trying to print this, where it stuck to the bed like crazy. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's because I used glue when I'm not supposed to, but my first one, this came out okay because it was all on supports, but this is kind of how the lower panel turned out, which is not optimal, obviously. So I ruined my print bed, scraping it off with a spatula, an actual spatula, this spatula, and a little razor blade scraper thing, and I scraped whatever that PEI coating is right off the plate. Only to then just come in the next day and realize that that was all uncalled for, because all I had to do was use a little bit of acetone or fingernail polish remover, and it came right off. So we were acting a fool for nothing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and get this whole thing put together. We're gonna flash it. We're gonna hook our old telephony up to it, and we're gonna turn it into just a rooftop kind of repeater situation. Now, if anyone uses Meshtastic, you know not to use the repeater like mode for your nodes, and the reason is when you use it as a repeater, all of the surrounding Meshtastic nodes will like have to go through it, so you lose hops, which is how many times the message can jump from node to node. Real quick, if you don't know about Meshtastic, I don't remember if I went over it in the last video, but you might not have watched the last video. But Meshtastic, all it is it's a off-grid encrypted text messaging setup thing, and basically what you do is you have nodes. So like this one is a backpack node, so this actually just goes on the back of my iPhone. This connects over Bluetooth, and then I can send text messages from this from the phone application to this. This will send out a message over LoRa, which is long range. It's a protocol that uses the ISM band, which will then hop messages from other nodes until it gets to where you're trying to get to. So the idea is you can get really far with real low power devices. So these devices don't have to have a ton of juice or a ton of antenna power or anything like that. They can just hop from place to place to place. So cool thing about that is it works all off grid, and you don't have to have any sort of cell phone service or Wi-Fi or anything like that. All you have to have is nodes. So this is going to be the vehicle node. So the idea behind this is a lot of times these lower power, not as good antenna like nodes will have a hard time penetrating and going through buildings and stuff like that, so you lose a lot of signal. But the idea is if you have a node outside with a really good antenna in a high position, which on top of your car is probably, you know, higher than in your pocket, this will get the message from your device and then send it out to the mesh in total, and then you can hop to whatever and get to wherever you're trying to get to. So the idea is this acts almost like a repeater, and then from here you can send your messages wherever you want to get them. So the idea is we build this, we throw this on top of the pickup truck, set it and forget it. That way whenever I drive the truck anywhere, if I have a mesh node in my pocket, or if I have one in my bag, or if the kids have one, or if the wife has one, what have you, I send messages, it sends it to this picks it up better, and then it broadcasts it to get to other places. So that's the plan, at least. We'll see how that goes. Okay, all right, we're back. One of the kids crashed a drone, so we had to triage that, figure out why the heck was going on. All right, so in your rack board, it'll come with the screws you need to screw this into the base plate. The base plate will fit up into here like this, with this little TPU gasket that you also print, which I think is pretty sick that you can just print a gasket. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure how perfectly waterproof any of this is going to be, and honestly, like the way it's designed, it kind of is designed in such a way that I don't think it's going to be a big issue, but we will leave it on the vehicle for a few months and come back, take it all apart, and see kind of how it looks. If it looks like water has gotten in there, then we will reassess. I'm going to put one of these little silica gel packets in it anyway, just for giggles, and then see if that helps at all. But so yeah, your rack board will come with 2 different size screws. You have M2.5s, which are the ones we're going to use for mounting, and then you got 1.6 bajillion of these microscopic screws, and those are for mounting sensor modules or anything to our little whiz block. So Rack is the company that makes this board. This board is called a whiz block. And this is super cool because you can just attach stuff like little Legos. All of these little ports, these little slots, are places where we can install sensor modules or different wireless modules or what have you. So that's pretty slick. So that's what all these tiny screws are for, is you put a sensor module on there, you screw it on, then suddenly you have access to it. These are pretty cool if you're really smart. I'm not really smart, so I can only use what's officially
supported by Meshtastic. So I actually am planning on putting a GPS module on there, and then a temperature and humidity sensor. So I think the humidity sensor might help to see if there's getting too much moisture in there, is kind of my plan. But what you do is, once you get this flash with Meshtastic, then it will actually output the telemetry data from this, which is the sensor data from the GPS and from whatever sensor you put on there, and it'll upload that to the mesh so that you can have that data. So that way, if you have a GPS module and a temperature module or what have you, it'll show up on the for the node info for that. So we're gonna get the board mounted. First, we're gonna try and see if we can guess the screw size. I guess this. Hey, that's pretty good. Not bad for a first guess. So this is not printed with any sort of inserts. This is all just screwing directly into the plastic, which actually is working pretty dang good so far. It kind of just self-taps itself in there. One of the cool things about threading directly into plastic is nature's thread locker. So it tends to stay in pretty good. You don't have to worry about, you know, it coming apart or coming loose. The other thing is, when you use the threaded inserts, the dissimilar metals pose a possible threat of corrosion. I don't know. I'm just... This is what I read on the internets, so who knows how accurate any of that stuff is. But we're gonna mount all this crap onto this other crap, and then we're gonna glue some crap to some crap, and then we're gonna just start seeing what the haps is. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna have to solder this onto this, and then this is gonna go in here. Let's do that. We're gonna just start attaching things that we can attach, and then once we run out of stuff to attach, we'll bust out the soldering iron that I literally just put away for some reason. God, these screws are tiny. Good thing we got a nice little bag to put them in. If only I had smaller fingies, but I don't. Actually, what else can we mount while we're in here? Let's put the... Is this the LoRa antenna? This is the LoRa antenna. Alright, we don't want this. So we'll put the Bluetooth antenna in. And most of the stuff is just going to double-sided tape in there. Bloop. Boom, look at that. We got a Bluetooth antenna. And on the board, it's labeled so you can see Bluetooth, BLE, and LoRa. So this is where we're going to put our big antenna. Slap that bad bam jam on there. Remember, IPEX connectors are fragile, so be careful when you're messing with them, because it is super duper easy to just screw those up. You know, actually, I think what I will probably do is I will mount the LoRa antenna on here just for giggles. Not just for giggles. I'll do it so that I can... If you pull the board apart and you want to do stuff with it, the battery and all of that stuff I'm gonna have attached in here, but when you take the top off, so like let's say I had to update the firmware, I don't want it to accidentally start transmitting without an antenna connected. Oh, that's a consideration I didn't think of. I gotta have somewhere to plug the USB connector in. I guess I could put it up here. I don't want to do that. I want it in here. Do I have Velcro? I could Velcro it, I guess, right? I don't really super duper like that plan. having thoughts. I'm having thoughts. They're not good. All right, let's do this. We're gonna see if this will tuck in there as it sits. And if it does, oh, dude, yeah. Okay, we'll put it in like that. Oh god, my finger's stuck. That's the pickle jar all over again. Alright, so we will put this here with a wee bit of double-sided tape. And I have learned a little of this tape goes a long way. Okay, all right. Alley-oop. So I'm using a 3000 milliamp hour battery because that's what I had sitting here. If you have other ideas that would fit, this thing has quite, actually I'm not sure how much more room you could fit. You might be able to fit like a 3200 milliamp hour battery, but this I think for my purposes will be fine. So I'll put that here. So let's see if we can peel the sticker off. So I always have a hard time with this. Oh, dude. Smooth. Crisp. Fresh, cool. Taste of the Rockies, you know? So let's show you what you got to do. I did figure out a solution for the USB cord being in the way, and the solution is just unscrew it from the board. And it works fine. So what you do is you're going to go to flasher.meshtastic.org. Select your target device. We are a rack whiz block, which should be closer to the top, usually. There we go. And we want to do the 2.7.15 beta. So with a rack board, you don't actually have to have it super like connected to the doobly-doo. You just have to get it into DFU mode. I don't know what DFU stands for. Somebody will say it. But all you really got to do is download the file. So we're going to download the file. We're going to put it in our downloads folder. Then we're going to plug our doobly-doo in. It's going to make noises. And then what you do is you just double-click the reset button. And it will come up. So then what we do is we go to our downloads, copy, rack board, paste. And then once that's done pasting, you're gonna get an error on the computer. The computer's gonna be like, hey yo, that shit didn't work. The rack board will be like, bet though, we got it. So the little blinky doobly doo means stuff's happening. So we just give it a second. Theoretically, it should automatically unpack. So you'll hear it disconnect. This light will change, and then that will get all mad and be like, yo, what's going on? Perfect. Good. Cancel. Now this will reboot. And we will reconnect to it. And now our firmware is 2.7.15. So perfect. All right, firmware set. Unscrewed it, did a thing. USB then plugs in totally fine. It is connected, but I do not have the LoRa region set, because once I set the LoRa region, then it starts transmitting. I don't want that quite yet. So let me unplug the battery, or let me unplug it from USB first. Then we'll unplug the battery. Oh, that's really in there. God, I don't like that at all. Not one bit. Alright, I'm going to double-sided tape this LoRa antenna to the bottom of it. That way it's just always in there, so I don't ever have to think about it. You like these scissors? Me too. They're titanium. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Gotta be careful. Don't want to get a copyright strike for how beautiful that was. I'd be like, whoa, was that them singing? It must have been. It was so beautiful. I'm like, I know, guys. I know. We're gonna route this and stuff and put the thing on the thing and stuff. Alright, cool beans. Ooh, that was beautiful. I nailed that. I nailed that, guys. So they also have a couple different versions that you can print of this top half, the one that has the antenna in it. So you can get this one, which has the big N-type connector, so you can fit the fancy Alpha 915 antenna on it, which is like a everybody in the Meshtastic community says it's dope. I've never used one of these before, so I bought two. Not sure what I'll use the second one for yet. I also bought enough stuff to kind of make another one of these, aside from the board. I didn't buy a second board, because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I also had the 1 watt Meshtastic board coming, and I was like, you know, that would be pretty slick, but I didn't do that either because that was silly goose of me. All right, so for this part, we do need to bring our own screws. So what I did is bought off of the old Amazon just the giant thing of M3 screws. Now we are going to use these to screw this into this. And I think we're gonna want to use 8 mil. Let's see. See how much thread we get once we're through the hole. We don't want too much, but we also don't want not enough, you know? All right, 8 mil seems to be the good, you know what I mean? Yeah, good. So we'll need 7 of those guys. There. Oh, nailed it, guys. I'm terrible at math too, so you should be impressed. That's not even math, that's just straight counting. I'm bad at that too. All right, then we got to put our gasket in here. So the gasket has a ridge that is printed all along the inside. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I'm just seating my pants here. That will go towards the bottom. So we'll try and get this all seated so it's really nice in there. And it kind of holds pretty good, actually. So now we're gonna swap out our internal testing antenna, which is now our new official name for this antenna that I'm shoving in here. Nice. We're going to connect our fancy antenna there we go. We're also going to plug in our solar panel. Red is on the red, good. Red is on the red, perfect. Then we are going to plug in our yeah, there's no real way to turn this on or off. So, you know what? I'm gonna not plug it in for now. And then I think maybe later I will see how I feel about that in my heart. All I mean by that is I'll plug it in later. Once it's all installed and working and stuff. Or, like, installed, I guess. Not going to be working. Alright, we're having interference issues. No, we're not! Yeah, that has... There's literally nothing to seal this hole. You guys see there's zero friction there. So, that's going to be addressed. Probably, with some goop of some kind. Same with this. This is fine, alright? I can tape that up. I don't need a ton of, like, it's not like this is going to stick out underneath the magnets. So that's cool. Dope! We're coming together. We're coming together right now. Alright. So, that's good. That's good. Everything stayed connected. Alright, so now, if we want to do this a little more permanently, the gasket's still in the right spot. We'll throw our antenna on. I will plug it in. And we will be off to the races. What races? I don't know, man. I just be saying stuff sometimes. Oh. That's not attaching. Alright, attached. Oh. I never set the LoRa region for this exact purpose. It can't broadcast. Transmit. Transmit and broadcast are two different things. Don't at me, I know. Alright, get this shoved in here. Nice! Alright, we got stuff in there. Let's start putting screws on. Apologies for the shitty angle here. My wrist is turning backwards. Alright. Is it threading? It is threading! Nice. Okay, so we're gonna pull a little bit of switcheroony here because as you guys can see, this is not the same color as the one only a moment ago. And the reason for that is pretty simple. The GoPro overheated. So I did not realize it overheated until reviewing the footage to edit. So I printed another one so I could build my second one. Remember, I did mention I had enough crap to make two. So what I'm gonna do is show you guys the rest of the process on this one, and then we will magically cut over to me slamming it on the truck and showing you guys all that stuff. So here's the magnets. I bought a 10-pack because you never know when you're gonna need some magnets, so I have enough that I can just do this whole thing again. And I did find that you do have to use some washers that come in this business to get everything put together. So I don't actually have my other rack board installed in this yet. So we're gonna just kind of gloss over this. You guys are gonna just pretend with movie magic that this is all exactly the same and nothing has changed. Is everyone okay with that? Good, because that's our only option. So we got our magnets, we got our spacers, we got our screws. Oh my gosh, it's almost like these are magnets or something. Oh god, okay, this feels stronger than magnetic force. This is magnets plus sticky rubber, maybe. Oh, yep, there we go. All right, I'm also going to tell you guys a little secret because this is future me. I've had the Node running on the car and the truck for, I don't know, a couple weeks now, and battery voltage has never dropped below like 80%, and that's even like sometimes I'll park the car in the garage overnight, and so it obviously doesn't get any sun. And then sometimes I take the truck with the car in there. There's a lot of options here, so it's not always
It's not always an optimal situation for battery life, but it's working okay. So the weirdness about this I found is that your screws will kind of almost bottom out. So what I did is I used a washer, but I used the washer under the panel. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put our disc and our magnet, put the washer on top. And I'm sure if you're a smart 3D printer guy, which I think we can all probably currently agree that I am not that, and can just make this like slightly thicker so that that all kind of works a little better, that would totally work. But I didn't do that, so. But yeah, so we're gonna put this together, and then I will magically cut you over to me throwing it on the roof of the truck. But this thing has been absolutely perfect. It's been a game changer, because the biggest solution I have found using this is like anytime you're inside a building or something like that, if you don't already have a kind of like an infrastructure or something like that set up, this gives you the ability to use small little nodes like this guy, my low mesh Pocket M, which I will be doing a video on all my little pocket nodes here pretty soon, because I've done some pretty thorough testing now. I've had them all for a while, and I've wanted to do like a comparison video, but I was having a lot of issues with this dude on the Meshtastic firmware, and it was doing some weird stuff where like it would, like, the battery life was way worse than everyone else was saying theirs was. So I waited, and then I've flashed everything again, and I've run all of these nodes. I've run this, that, and my Seed Studios T1000E through a whole 0 to 100% power cycle, both with and without GPS, to get a kind of idea what we were looking at as far as like battery life goes, and really impressed with both of them, honestly. So we'll get more into that when I make that video. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what the hell was going on. Oh yeah, washer on top of here too. That's the other thing, is like you want, it's pretty close. I don't know how well you guys can see like the gap here, because you don't want this part rubbing on your collar paint. So this, I did the same thing. So I put that there, and then I put the washer here, and then that there, and then maybe we'll just do both of these at the same time, if that'll work nicely. Move this a little more in frame. I gotta say, this bananas little video situation I've been doing has taken off a lot more than I anticipated. I thought I was just gonna be doing goofy stuff that I could show people and be like, hey, you know, here's some stuff. But that last one, geez guys, I got like, I'm almost at 200 subscribers, and like I think that video when I checked this morning was at like 9,000 views, which is nuts. This is significantly more than I anticipated. So thank you everyone who's watching. I really appreciate it. Kind of cool. It's fun. It's a fun little hobby dingus. But yeah, so that's it. That's it's assembled. And that's really all you got to do. You can give that little extra Guten tight if you'd like. This one's fun. I printed it in this. This is printed in PETG, which well, okay, it was two things. It was a lot easier to print, but then I also, instead of printing it flat like I did in my ABS one, I printed it at a 45-degree angle from the print bed like this. So it printed like that with like supports, and that was so much easier. I've also since gotten my ABS prints figured out, so you guys just watched all of that chaos unfold. It's been a few weeks. I've printed lots of things. I've gone through a million different filaments now, trying different things. So PETG, I got this because this is
it is heat resistant like the ABS, so it's not going to what do you call it? It's not going to warp until like 70 degrees centigrade, which is some sort of magic number that I'll probably put somewhere because I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. But it's not as UV resistant. So what I did is I bought a bunch of UV matte clear coat, and I put like 5 layers of it on here. So we'll see how it goes. You know, none of this is all trial and error, but I really like this color. I live in the desert, so this is fun color way for things. I printed that. I printed another little holster for that guy. Printed Alley Cat's T-Beam Supreme case, the little Molly clip, which is crazy strong. Like, it's nuts how all this works, but yeah. Also, our group here is also doing some mesh core now. So I have a grip of my nodes flashed over to that, and then I have a video of me finally mounting up my Seed Studio kind of as a follow-up to my first video, because I actually bought another one. So I now have 2 Seed Studio Solar P1 Pros, because one of them is my new rooftop node for the house. So I have a rooftop node for the house that's running mesh core on top of my PoE powered one that's running Meshtastic. So just a quick little catch you up on everything. But yeah, so this is what it looks like, and then it works pretty good. The plan, this is gonna get cut off and just heat shrinked up so it doesn't, you know, interfere with anything. And obviously in the actual one, this fits in here. This is a little bit tighter of a fit than the ABS one. I think when this is fully screwed down, this will actually hold this pretty tight. The other thing is like, I did notice that, yeah, the seal isn't great, but I've been through a bit of rain, and I pulled off the bottom on my ABS one, that's the black one, and it's still dry in there. I threw a desiccant, one of these tasty little treat bags. I threw one of those in there, so I don't know if that helped at all, but it's staying dry in there, so I'm pretty reasonably confident that it's okay as it sits. Nothing comes in through the front, and I can, from experience, 100% tell you that on a closed course on private property, this node will stay attached to the roof of your car at 100 miles plus an hour. So this thing is pretty solid, so good to know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys later. Well, I won't see you guys later, but you know what I mean. All right, we're gonna snap over to me putting it on the truck, I think. Yeah, all right, cool. GoPro turned off because it said it was hot, which is fair, because it's sitting in the shed, which was also hot. So we're gonna slap this up on the roof. All right, don't judge the bed of the truck. It's full of metal, because of metal. All right, we're gonna go right chair. Ooh, that is on there. And now, theoretically, we should be charging. Let's see. Nobody look, secret code. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's charging, heck yeah. All right, cool, we did it. It's exciting times. All right, cool beans, guys.